Right, I guess we can get started. You think?
Yeah, I think we can get started now.
Okay. So to begin with, my name is Joseph Brock, also known as Glider. I'm the owner of Triple Six Jewels, which is a luxury jewelry company based in London. We make bespoke grills and like diamond jewelry for celebrities across the world, doing all kinds of different cool things. Obviously, we've just taken our jump into the NFT space with this project, and as we can see, obviously, so far so good. It's going very well. Um, yeah. So in the past, we've I've been doing some projects with Anthony Tedisco. I've worked with him on his emoji grills project. I actually make the physical versions of the emoji grills and help around with the Discord and all that kind of stuff as well. So I've been working with him for quite a while now. I mean, it's February, so over 6 months now, quite a while. And also, yeah, a few of his other projects here and there. Um, Also working with T Rex Global, T underscore Rex Global on Instagram, who's an American based artist and like streetwear designer that you might know of. Um, Working with him on his upcoming NFT project as well. Been doing that for quite a while. Um, so that's kind of like a little background for me. In terms of um, this project, then obviously this is Liquid Metal, which is our first project by Triple Six. This will essentially be the key to all of our future projects. By holding on to your Liquid Metal, you'll gain access to all of the future things that we do, giveaways, events. As I say, obviously future projects. It's going to be like a whitelist spot guaranteed, essentially, for all of the projects that we do. As I'm sure you're familiar with already, the majority of you will be at least. There's four different types of liquid metal. The first one being silver, which you have a 60% chance to get. The next one is gold, which has a 30% chance. Then diamond, which is 10%. And then there's also a molten liquid metal, which has approximately 0.1%. So there's very few of those. Each of the different rarities are gonna obviously have different perks and bonuses. So the more the rarer pieces that you have are obviously going to be more rewarding than the silver, for example. But each of them will obviously have a purpose. So having a silver one is still going to be just as beneficial in the long run. Um, Obviously, holding onto your liquid metal is going to be beneficial, as I say, because it will give you all the access to all these future things that we're doing. Um, Most of the projects that we have lined up already, obviously can't talk about too much, but I will probably be sharing with you some of the things because obviously we want to hint at that as well. Just quickly, actually, before we jump onto that, obviously, if you were most of you have been here for a while now, so you will have known that we did originally launch this a couple of days ago, and unfortunately, we did run into some issues with the contract and the website. So we ended up pausing that and getting in touch with a few more people, a few more devs and stuff, and we've managed to iron out all of those issues. So those that did have failed transactions, obviously most of you have created your ticket so far. We've already began refunding people for those failed transactions for the gas. We've done quite a few of those already, and now that the mint has started as well, we'll be continuing on refunding all of those people. So if you did lose out, you obviously uh, won't have to worry about that because you will receive it back. If you want to know more about that as well, there's obviously all the information in the announcement section. So if you haven't checked that out already and you did have some issues the other day, then you can check that out. But yeah, we're very happy to say that obviously all the issues are fixed, as I'm sure you can tell. The gas price this time around was really good. Um, everyone was the feedback was very good. I'm pretty sure people were quite satisfied with that. So far, we've obviously sold we've hit 2,800 sold so far, which is very good. It's only been like an hour and 40 minutes, right? So definitely on track. So yeah, as I say, if you did have issues, then you're more than welcome to get in touch, as most of you already have. But yeah, so we have thankfully fixed those. Going back onto the project, obviously, I touched upon some of the utilities in terms of the different rarities and things like that. We'll be doing snapshots as well going forward for a variety of different giveaways, which will give you access to physical pieces. And there will also be some very special limited physical pieces for the holders of the Molten metal piece. Obviously, as I say, there's 0.1% of the supplier will be Molten, so you're going to have to be pretty lucky to get hold of one of those, but they will be able to be burned for a physical piece, which we're not actually going to confirm what it is yet, but obviously keep your eyes out for that. And there will be some other utilities as well, um, obviously, um, from the rarer options as well as the silvers and golds and that. We do have a future project in the works already, which is going to be a profile picture project, essentially based on our jewelry company. So it's going to be unlike any of the any of the other profile picture projects that you've seen so far. A unique approach to it in regards to the art as well as the utility you'll gain from it as well. In terms of supply and cost and things like that, we haven't announced that information yet. This is the first time we're actually discussing it to anyone, so you guys are the first to hear about it. So in terms of the name, the artworks, potential collaborations and things that we're working with on that, all of that is going to stay hidden for the time being. But that will be the next project that we release, and it will be relatively soon as well. So if you're holding any of the liquid metals, obviously you're going to be guaranteed access to that as well. And yeah, that's going to be some exciting stuff. We're definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, I mean, in regards to questions, as I say, you're more than welcome to put questions in the AMA channel, so then I can begin answering questions you have as well. Because obviously I'd like to know what you have. Like to know the things you'd like to know.
Yeah, well, let me handle the questions for you. In the
Yeah,
meantime,
for sure.
tell us a little bit about what inspired you to get into this space. I mean, for anyone who's done their
Yeah, yeah,
research on you, you've had a lot of really amazing connections and partnerships and
yeah,
connections with celebrities as clients in particular. But what really
yeah, yeah.
inspired you to get drawn into the NFT space?
So I've always been interested in art, and then the original inspiration actually came from my work with Anthony Tedisco. So as I mentioned previously, probably just over 6 months ago, maybe even close to a year ago now, I started working with Anthony Tedisco on his Emoji Girls project, which is still in the works. And I basically approached him in regards to some ideas for making physical versions of his project, because in the past, I've always been very focused on the physical aspect of things. With my jewelry company, as I mentioned, we make mainly grills, but also like diamond rings, pendants. We do watches and things like that as well. Um, so we've worked with not too sure how familiar people are with like UK rappers and stuff like that, but if you're familiar with Skepta, obviously one of the most famous UK rappers at the moment. We've worked with Skepta, we've worked with Lancey Foe, we've worked with like Italian stylists like Sita Bellin. Um, we've worked with obviously Anthony Tedisco, people like that. T-Rex Global, who's the American streetwear designer and artist. We've worked with Cheeto International, who's an artist as well, who just recently collaborated with Givenchy on their most recent collection. So yeah, as I say, obviously in the past, everything has definitely had very physical. We've always had a physical approach to things, but then taking inspiration from the work I've been doing with Anthony, I've found myself falling more and more into the NFT space, and yeah, that was definitely the original inspiration. The more I spoke with Anthony, and the more I got involved in his projects, the more I found like the potential to bring something unique and different to the space. So that was definitely the original inspiration. And then the community as well is another reason why I really love this. Um, as you can tell just from the chat itself, obviously everyone really gets involved, and that's kind of what I like as well. That's originally why I started my business in the first place. Before I even thought about the NFTs, I always wanted to get involved, bring people together as a community, and yeah, this is definitely allows that as well, which is really great. I always do my best to obviously be involved in the chat, despite obviously working on everything else at the same time. But yeah, so Would you say
Yeah,
that
absolutely. Very admirable, very inspirational. And I can say, from personal experience working with you the past few days, I mean, this guy has been on top of trying to do literally everything he can to make sure this project has been successful. So I really love to hear the passion that you have for developing more community in this space.
Yeah, thank you. Also, I want to take the time to obviously shout out the team. So I'm working with obviously the foundation team, which is a group of people that I've been close to for many, many years. Most of them 10, 11 years, you know. And then also a big shout out to Red, the developer that obviously helped work on the worked on the new contract. Massive shout out to him, and obviously shout out to you yourself as well, for your contributions over the last few days. Obviously, everyone has come together, and also obviously a big shout out to the community. Obviously, none of this would be possible without you as well. So yeah, definitely grateful for everyone coming together and making this something great. And I'm really looking forward to the things that we have planned in the future and all of that rolling out. Um, so yeah,
100%. Yeah, that's what the Web3 community is all about. I think we can get into some of the questions from the AMA chat right now.
okay, perfect.
So, question from Rocco Taco 25. If you own multiple liquid metal, will it be
hmm
multiple whitelists for future projects?
That will depend on the project itself. As I say, we're planning to do multiple projects. Some of them, if you own multiple, it will only give you one slot. But then others, obviously, we'll try and make it scalable. So the more you own, the more access you'll receive. Obviously, it kind of makes sense, right? But obviously, we don't want to like over allocate whitelist spaces too much. But that would definitely be something we're working on, and we'll do some announcements in regards to that as well when the projects come around. Because obviously, each project, although it will be a part of 666 and it will be heavily tied into all the different utilities and things, and there'll be some combinations between the two, or yeah, between the multiple different projects. Obviously, each one will have slightly different details about it. So sometimes if you own multiple pieces, you'll only get one whitelist spot. However, others you may end up with, two or three, etc.
Awesome. Sounds really great. Good approach to take, making sure you're not over allocating as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So, question from radhatter.eth. Are you able to share any sneak peeks, and when's the reveal?
Okay, so I'll touch upon the reveal first. The reveal will happen as soon as we sell out. So as soon as we hit 6666 pieces sold, we'll process the reveal, and then obviously if you go onto OpenSea and like refresh the metadata, it might take a minute or so, but yeah, then you'll see what we've got. We don't want to long out the reveal too much. Obviously, as soon as everything's done, as soon as everything's sold out, then you should be able to take a look and see how lucky you are, I suppose. In regards to sneak peeks, there will be some in regards to the project that is coming next. However, I won't be dropping them today. But within the next few days, you can expect to see some sneak peeks on that for sure.
Glad to hear that. So, for the next question from NFT Mac, is the whitelist only for projects that you are creating, or will it have a similar utility to other passes where we whitelist for other projects?
That is a good question. Obviously, throughout the next few weeks and also months, obviously things will continue to be developed. So, at the moment, we can only guarantee that obviously the whitelist will be for our own projects. But without a doubt, I'm sure we'll be collaborating with other projects as well. We already actually have a few being worked on. Have to make a few calls tomorrow actually, and then we'll be able to announce some more information on that. But you should be able to get your hands on some whitelists for some other projects as well. So that'll be really exciting. I'm looking forward to obviously the collaborations of different projects coming together with ourselves and making something really great.
Yeah, glad to hear that. Next question comes from Jack666. What is the time frame on the coming projects that we will have whitelist for as liquid metal holders? Are most of them already being developed, or is it something that you will start to develop now with the funds from Mint?
So, in regards to the future projects, the first project that we're working on is already in development. However, now that the mint has obviously started for liquid metal, um, you're correct in thinking that obviously the funds that have been coming in from this will be used towards that development and definitely accelerate the development of that as well. So in regards to time frame, as I said, about in regards to like leaks and things, you can expect to see them within the next few days. Everything's starting to roll out. In terms of actual release date, obviously this isn't something we could confirm today, but it'll be within weeks, really. You know, few weeks, a few weeks to a month. You know, we want to make sure that
Oh
everything is
wow.
perfect, obviously, before we release it. So it could take slightly longer, but as I say, as the days go on, you'll be receiving more and more information in regards to this next project that's a part of 666.
Super bullish.
Me too.
So next question from Underkoffer. A really good one, by the way. How are the funds of the mint going to be used? Are you planning to grow the community more?
100%, 100%. Obviously, the funds from the original mint, from this mint, will obviously be used to develop upon the project. Obviously, we're looking to expand as much as possible. They'll be used towards the projects that we're already in the process of working on, establishing different connections with a variety of different people, and of course, building upon the community that we've already got. So yeah, definitely, basically, is the answer to that. Um, in regards to like if you want like specific numbers and specific how it's going to be allocated, obviously that's not something that we can reveal so far, but we can confirm that it will be going towards these future projects.
Yeah, glad to hear that. Next question comes from Frontside. I know this is not affiliated to House, but do you know Asa, and what is your connection to House?
So yeah, there is no affiliation between 666 and House. We so I know Asa from Emoji Girls. He was or is on the team for Emoji Girls as well. So in my time working with Anthony, I've also been working alongside him. Um, so that's how we've been working together. So I've only known him through that project. So we're not extremely well connected. Obviously, we've spoke back and forth over the last few months. But yeah, there's no affiliation between 666 and that project.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification on that. Next one comes from Borg Zero. How many NFTs can I mint per transaction and per wallet during the public mint?
So the public mint will be the same as the whitelist. You'll be able to purchase 5 per transaction and a total of 15 per wallet.
Nice.
And the price
Next
is
one's
the
coming
same as
from
well.
Miss. Right. So fingers crossed to you guys. You're gonna get
Mm.
access to the public. I'm
Yeah,
crossing
hopefully.
fingers and toes for you at this point. Next one comes from Mr. T. How did you land on the 0.02 mint price instead of going for a higher mint price?
Realistically, obviously, looking at other projects that have been releasing over the recent weeks and months, um, a lot of them have been very expensive. And to be honest, we just wanted to make it as accessible as possible to everyone in the community. I know from like friends of mine and just other people I've made friends with through other communities. Obviously, not everyone can afford to spend like zero point 0.5 ETH or like 1 ETH or something to mint a new project. So yeah, it was really part of our goals to make sure that it was accessible to pretty much everyone, and that is why we picked the low price. We just
Yeah,
wanted it to
super
be as
respectable. Next question is coming from Ankly1. I hope I said that name correctly. Besides getting whitelist, will holders also get free airdrops of any kind?
That is a good question. In terms of currently, there's I'm not going to confirm yes or no. However, it is something that we've been discussing with the team. So you can I wouldn't say expect it, but there's a high chance of that happening. So whether or not it will be an airdrop that will be sent to every holder, or whether you'll sort of receive a chance to receive it, or like in terms of details, there aren't really any yet in regards to airdrops, but it is definitely something we've been discussing, and again, it's one of those things that you can expect to hear about as the project progresses. Um, there's more chance of it happening than not, if that helps at all. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, cool stuff. Next one's coming from Insec. Are you planning on releasing your next project before March, or is this more of a Q2 type of thing?
In regards to the release date, as I said, we'll know more about it as further developments are made. Um, Obviously, as we're in February right now, it's likely to happen in March as opposed to before, because we want to make sure everything is like well thought out and not rushed, and we want to make sure the artwork is top tier as well as the utilities that you'll gain from owning the second project as well. So yeah, I would say to expect it in March, but it could be the beginning, could be midway through. But we'll try and obviously make it sooner rather than later. But at the same time, we don't want to rush anything. We want to make sure it's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one's coming from Biggest Boy. How long have you been in the Web3/NFT space? And what NFTs do you personally hold?
Okay, that is a good question. So I would say for about a year, just over probably longer than a year now. For over a year, I've been interested in NFTs, but it took me quite a long time to sort of take the plunge into picking up my first few. Um, at the moment, I when I began my collaborations with Anthony, that is when I sort of picked up my first few pieces. You can check out my Nifty Gateway as well if you want. My profile, my username is just Glider. But yeah, at the moment I'm just holding some of Anthony's pieces, some from his most recent drops. Anthony is obviously one of my favorite artists. Slightly biased because of how I work with him, but yeah, he's definitely at the top there for me. So yeah, the majority I own are from him. I own a couple of others as well. Um, a few smaller artists, a few from house and things like that. Um, but yeah, so in terms of interest, it's been longer than a year, but in terms of holding on to things, more around the sort of 6 month mark.
Right, definitely. Next one's coming from Dusty_1. Will the affordable pricing be going forward on the next projects?
Definitely. It is um probably wise to expect that the next release may be slightly more expensive. Um, we will do our best though to keep it at an affordable price range. So if it isn't 0.02, it won't be too much higher. We always want to keep it low. In regards to pricing, we'll definitely be making more announcements. But yeah, we won't be charging crazy prices for anything that we release. Everything's gonna stay reasonably affordable.
Super dope. See, next one is coming from Chicken Nuggets. Do you plan on holding any events in Los Angeles? And I guess to expand on this question a little bit more, is there any sort of plans for any IRL meetups or events of that nature?
That is a good question. So we've been thinking about this quite a lot. It is within like it's one of my goals to sort of expand because I'm from England. I've lived in London for like the past 3 to 4 years, and then my family is from just outside of London as well. So at the moment, in my opinion, the NFT space in London isn't like extremely developed, and that's definitely something we want to work on as a community. But we understand as well that obviously a lot of our community members are from all across the world. So at the moment, we do have plans, like in the near future, to host sort of IRL events within London, especially linked into our business as well, and some of the sort of artists and things that we've worked with, some of the like musicians and the other talented people that we've worked with. They will definitely come into play when it comes to our physical events. At the same time, in regards to LA and different cities, like I don't know, Paris, places like different countries, things like that, we have been thinking about it, but in terms of actually like confirmed places, we're not too sure. But we do understand that obviously everyone is has come together here from a variety of different places, so we want to make sure that that's everyone. Obviously, you can't we can't go to every city, but we wanna definitely touch up on a few different places so that multiple people can get involved, and it's not just limited to people that live in or around London. Um, but yeah,
Oh yeah, super cool. It's glad there's going to be some implementations like that, and you're trying to be very intentional about that metaverse to real world connection.
for sure.
Next question is coming from Raj. What is the top few priorities for the team once Mint is completed?
Once Mint is completed, our top priority would obviously be well, there's obviously multiple, but the community will always be number one on our list of priorities. We're always looking to develop the community, get everyone involved, host different events, whether it be in person or through Discord or through a variety of other different spaces. We always want to keep the community involved and definitely work on that. So that would probably be our number one priority. Always, we're always trying to look out for the community that we're growing and building upon as the days go on. Our second priority would definitely be the next project that we're working on. We're keen to get that in the works and completely underway so that we can start releasing these different announcements, different previews and leaks and things to the people that are interested. Um, so that would be our second priority, and then obviously in regards to anything else, it just sort of kind of strings on from that. Just obviously the community is definitely our main priority, and then the future projects and the utilities that continue on from owning your piece of liquid metal.
Absolutely. Next one's coming from Frontside. Is there any benefit to the old liquid NFT collection?
That is a good question. The answer is no. If you own one of the old ones, as we've already done, we've already airdropped all of the people that owned one from the old collection. They've already been airdropped the new ones. We're changing, basically deleting all of that information, and we'll be in touch with OpenSea very soon to hopefully get that removed. So yeah, that one does not have any purpose, and we've already sent out all of the airdrops to the people that did buy those from of ones from the new collection, obviously.
Yeah, cool stuff. Very admirable of you to make sure people were taken care of in this process.
For sure. Obviously, we don't want anyone to lose out, basically, because of the mistakes that happened. So we've been working hard to rectify all of those issues, and yeah, we're glad that that's going smoothly.
Yeah, absolutely. Next question is coming from Punta Doce. How much money will be used for marketing and promotions?
Like a specific number. These aren't going to be things that we'll release today. But we're definitely allocating like a large sum of the profits that we make, especially from like secondary market sales and things like that. A lot of this will be used to just go straight back into the project, whether it be for marketing, promotion, developments of new projects, utilities and things that we can provide, benefits, whether it be physical or events, all these kinds of different things that we're working on. They're going to be funded through the project, and yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Next one's coming from Cloud9. What is the reason you're giving out so little information about the upcoming projects?
We want to keep it a mystery. We like the idea of progressively revealing things. We don't want to give away too much. Um, yeah, it's definitely about the mystery. We just want to keep everyone active and engaged, and it spoils the fun really if you give everything away from the start.
Yeah, it's all about the small nuggets you get along the way. If you get the whole gold
Exactly,
bag, you're not gonna stay engaged.
for sure.
I just want to do a quick little time check later and see if you're
Yeah,
good to keep going on some questions.
yeah, for sure. I guess if we keep it going for like another 15 minutes or so, and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah, sounds solid to me.
I just
Next one's
saw
coming from.
a message. Hold on to that one. I just saw one from Apology. He was curious about the art and sound production. He said, it seems top notch. Did Glider have anyone help him creatively in the production process? Um, or is this some sort of exclusive brainchild? So, in regards to the artwork, I developed all the artworks myself. The sound production did come from someone else, someone that actually worked with Anthony as well. So, that's how I came in touch with him. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with the sound design. And I'm looking forward to releasing some of the artworks for the upcoming projects as well. It's likely that with the next project that's coming out, it won't be 100% from me. We're looking to collaborate with a few different people as well. Um, but but yeah, in regards to this current project, the artwork came from me, and then sound design was from someone else. But yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
that's super crazy. And this is also going to be more of an updating project. So once, like, could you give us a little bit of information on what the potential reveals are going to look like? Is it going to be the teasers that you released, or is there going to be some unique flair?
Yeah, yeah. So the videos we released on Twitter will be the your different pieces that you'll receive. So as I mentioned, you'll receive the silver, gold, diamond, and molten, and I touched upon the rarities of those earlier as well. So those you'll receive those um obviously in their video format with the audio and stuff like that, and each of them will have a variety of different perks depending on their rarities as well. You may also find
That's
it
super
beneficial
cool.
to try and collect a few of each different rarity if that's
Oh, a little bit of alpha
within your
nugget right
interest.
there. Everyone who's listening is like, write that down, write that down. Cool. Really awesome stuff to hear. Next question is coming from Cold Tony. Any chance of getting whitelist raffles to Anthony's upcoming project through 666?
That is a good question. I might actually speak to Anthony. There's a few, as I mentioned, there's quite a few people that I need to get on the phone to over the next few days, and we'll be developing those relationships with other people further. I'll definitely speak to Anthony and see what we can do. As I'm working with him on his Emoji Girls project, we can definitely, like almost 99% certain, we can get some raffles going for some whitelist spots on that. But I know the collection is limited to about 125, which is obviously very low, and we've got, over we'll have like 6,000 people holding. Well, not people holding, 6,000 pieces sold. So for the holders, we can definitely do a giveaway for things like that, and I'll speak to Anthony in regards to like other projects and things as well. But I'm sure that will be something that's coming. And then a few of the other collaborations that we've been working on as well. I'll be arranging some calls with them, and yeah, you can expect some slots, some whitelist slots for a few different projects from holding.
Super bullish. I love the whitelist opportunities. Which,
For
speaking
sure.
of, Nene has a follow up question right after that.
Hmm.
What kind of projects are you willing to do partnerships with? Since 666 is something new. And to answer the second part of your question, Nene, there will be PFPs attached to the project as well.
Yeah, there will be profile picture projects coming. In regards to ones that we're willing to work on, to be honest, like we're open to anything really. Like well, obviously, as I say that, we're going to be obviously very selective with the projects that we do work with. But it kind of just, if we see something that like matches our aesthetic or the things that we're interested in, the things that the team have a passion for, then obviously those are the things that we're going to be looking into developing and working with as well. I just saw
Okay.
someone asked if my profile picture's from Anthony by any chance, and yeah, it's from his most recent collection. His Genesis collection. They're all one of one. There's 120 of them, and yeah, each of them are unique.
How much did you end up paying for that one?
I managed to mint it. So
Oh wow.
people that held his some of his previous collections had a slightly greater chance. So the people that held um the previous piece could mint for well, enter a raffle on Nifty to mint, and that was $750. And then the public raffle was for $1,000. So
Wow. Yeah. You're definitely giving me a little bit of FOMO wanting to buy some more of his pieces.
yeah, for sure. To anyone that obviously I'm imagine most people are familiar with his work, but if you're not, then definitely check it out.
Next question we have is from Squiffs. Why did you choose a max min of 15? Are you not worried about that negatively affecting the holder to item ratio?
So originally we were gonna go for unlimited, but we quickly realized that that was definitely not a good idea because of the amount of interest that we had. We wanted to make sure that people could definitely pick up multiple pieces because of the utilities that you'll get from obviously burning them and things like that. There's potential for also combining them, um, but that's all I'm going to mention in regards to that. So you'll benefit from holding multiple basically. So that's why we wanted to give people the option to pick up 15. We also realized that obviously not everyone is going to want to max mint and buy 15. Um, so yeah, that was kind of it. Once we picked 15, we wanted to just stay with it. To be honest, we bounced around thinking about different numbers for a long time. We were discussing it for ages, but obviously we don't just want to keep changing things. We want to make a decision and stick with it. But yeah, that is why we went for 15 because there's going to be perks to having multiple.
Yeah, and I think I checked on. I still need to answer it again, but before I saw it was probably like a rough average of 8-ish per
Yeah, yeah,
holder.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did the calculation as well, and I got like 7.9. So yeah, I think on average there's about 8. Which meets our expectations like basically perfectly. It sounds really good
Yeah, absolutely. Be interesting to see how after the AMA that number just starts to switch up.
for sure.
Next question we have is from Pantheon. What is the biggest lesson you've learned so far in the NFT space? Could be related to this project or your earlier work.
That is a good question. I mean, we definitely learnt a lot of lessons the other day when we originally minted. There was a lot to learn from that, and I think the you can never be over prepared, I suppose. But I think the lesson that came from that as well is obviously just how important the community is. We've always valued the community extremely highly, and we always will. But it was also great to see how, once we started making some announcements of what was going on and how we were going to solve it, how the community sort of just came together and, yeah, really helped out with that as well. So I would say the biggest lesson, um, yeah, is just always be prepared. Um, I suppose like anything could happen, but at the same time, yeah, um, community is very great. I think in regards to other projects, I wouldn't say there's been like major lessons learned from other projects because there's so many different projects that all have different outcomes. But it's more of just taking little lessons from everything, from even outside of NFTs. Every day, you learn a new thing, so it's key to just keep that in mind and use that to progress as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all about Web3, baby.
For
And
sure.
community is king. Next question we have is from Mim. What's the current burn rate of the company? Will we be drawing a salary from the funds raised?
Yeah. So right now, like in regards to the team, obviously, we kind of have to eat, right? So we will be taking. The team will get. a small percent, but the majority of the funds are going to be going towards future developments and stuff like that. Obviously, we're keen to make sure that this is like a full-time thing. Obviously, I'm working on the physical pieces, the grills and jewelry that I make for my clients every day as well. But we're gonna sort of restrict those orders as well, so we can put even more focus on these projects and the things going forward. So there will be people that work for us. Obviously, will be paid, but yeah,
Yeah, people gotta eat. That's
for
facts.
sure, for sure.
Next one is from Boucher. So this is pretty much a mint pass question mark. Why not just wait till the second project to be completed, then launch?
That is true. Well, I wouldn't say it's limited to being a mint pass. Obviously you gain not only do you gain the whitelist spots for future mints, you're also going to gain access to the variety of different events, the giveaways. You're going to be able to use the tokens in different ways, burn specific ones for certain things. Um, we've hinted upon some physicals as well, whether that be jewelry that you can claim or also some collaborations as well in terms of more fashion related things. This isn't just a mint pass. There's going to be tons of utility um, in regards to other things as well. That's just one of the many benefits you'll receive from holding on to your liquid metal.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense, especially coming from a perspective of trying to reach into the space. Absolutely do need to have a foundational start to building community,
Yeah,
or else
exactly,
you won't ever have any support for your actual projects.
for sure.
It takes a lot more work. So I think the approach you and your team took makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Also, as we've touched upon in previous questions, obviously the funds generated from the minting and like the secondary sales and things like that, that also allows us to develop these upcoming projects even more. So then every project that we release as a part of Triple Six will just continuously get better and better. And that's obviously thanks to the community and the people getting involved and all of that. So we're really looking forward to the developments that we make over the next coming weeks and obviously months as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We have another question from Undercoffer. Could you go a little bit into the utility differences for silver, gold, diamond, and molten metal? How would they be very different from each other? You don't have to
Um,
leak too much on that one.
yeah, yeah. We don't want to speak about that too much yet. Um, there will definitely be differences. Obviously, as I mentioned, the different rarities. So silver is 60%, gold is 30%, diamond is 10%, and the molten is only 0.1%. Obviously, those are like uh, approximates. They're basically around that. So there's definitely great reason to have the molten piece, but there's going to be very few of them. The same goes for the diamond. Obviously, there's going to be great reasons to have that, and obviously gold and silver as well. The rarer it is, the more rare it is, um, the better utilities you'll receive. But I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say what yet, just yet.
Yeah, gotta hold the nuggets.
Yeah.
Okay, and just as reference for the audience right now, we're gonna be wrapping up the Q&A portion of this AMA in probably the next 7-ish minutes. So if you do
Yep.
have any specific questions that you want to get in and get answered, make sure to go ahead and do so now. We'll do our best to get through it. Next one is from Funky Fred. What is your favorite topping of pizza and which is better? In-N-Out or Shake Shack?
I don't actually think I've had In and Out or my PC. Hello.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Uh, okay, I just got black screen. I don't think I've ever had In and Out or Shake Shack. I don't know whether they've got it here, and I've just never been, or but I definitely need to go and try it. Favorite topping for pizza? Um, damn. I mean, I like all kinds of pizza. Like I kind of eat any food. Like I'm not very picky when it comes to food, but you can't really go wrong with some kind of like pepperoni or something like that, you know?
Yeah, Yeah, pepperoni is king. You literally cannot go wrong with it. If anybody says otherwise, I mean, just seek help. We got another question from Santiago. When will the PFP collection be dropping?
We don't have an official date, but it is likely to be in around like a month. But we'll be looking forward to potentially sooner. I mean, it's the 16th today, so yeah, midway through March would be like a reasonable time to expect it. However, depending on how the developments go, it could be sooner. Um, but yeah, you'll start to see announcements, previews and stuff like that as the days progress. We're just getting started, really, in terms of the bigger scheme of things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds about right. We got a question from Ben Jeezy. What are your plans to grow more organically?
That is a good question. Obviously, through just different collaborations with variety of different communities. Obviously, we want to get as many people involved as possible, but at the same time, we're not interested in just spending a ton of money on marketing, like just getting a bunch of people in from anywhere. We want to make sure the community um supports the vision and can come together and be beneficial for everyone involved, right? We want people to be able to come here and make meaningful connections um, with the other people that are here as well. So we do have lots of plans in regards to growing the community, and yeah, these are going to be things that are developed again as the days go on as well. But organic growth is obviously very important to us, and that's what we've stuck to so far. And I mean, we only actually made the public announcement of this Discord and stuff just over a week ago, and yeah, we're really happy with how things are going, and we're very thankful for everyone that's getting involved. Yeah,
Yeah, lots of room to grow, but already a lot of growth already.
definitely.
Next question is coming from LVLOL Sup. Are you going to collab with celebrities that you've worked with for this project?
Yeah, most likely yes. We'll also be working with people that we haven't worked with before. Working with people that we've already worked with. There'll be plenty of collaborations coming. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good to know.
In regards to specific names, I don't want to announce anything just yet.
This might be like you might have just given half the answer to this upcoming question, but I'm going to ask it regardless.
Yep.
From Rot, any hints into artists collabing with Liquid Metal? Maybe Anthony, Murakami, Banksy.
Um, yeah, kind of the same answer as before. Obviously, we don't want to hint at too much. But obviously, if you go on my Instagram, things like that, you can see some of the people that I've worked with, especially on my personal Instagram as well. And you can, I don't know, you can make your own decisions. But obviously, these people are people that I've worked with previously on different, whether it be like jewelry pieces or their own collections and stuff like that. Um, Not just limited to NFTs. And I know a lot of these people that I've worked with as well. I've had talks with them about the NFT space, and they're just as excited about it as I am. So, um, yeah, you're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's a good response. Keep the nugget bag full. Don't let any holes
Yeah, for
out
sure.
just yet. Next one we have is coming from our disc. What's the plan to keep this momentum up for years?
um,
Very big
as
question.
I say, yeah, obviously years. Obviously we're always thinking about the long term as well as the short term as well. Obviously we have things planned for the upcoming months. There's going to be plenty of projects coming out, which will span like obviously the soonest one being the profile picture project, which is coming next. And then there'll be plenty of more as the months progress and as Triple Six progresses as a business as well as a community as well. So we'll be constantly adapting, changing, developing. So yeah, in regards to, I can't really tell you what's going to be happening in like 3 years time, but we definitely have certain goals and things that we're working towards, and I'm sure all of you will be pretty excited as as we release these next few things. So
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to wrap this up with two more questions, and then we'll go ahead and end.
okay.
We've got a question from 333am.eth. Music can help marketing. Any plans coming with songs from artists? Have to check out your Insta of who you've worked with. Maybe go at Tommy Cash, Pharaoh, Face.
um, well, I would definitely agree. I'm very passionate about music as well. Like I'm really interested in music. I mean, I mainly like rap music, and most of the people that I work with are like rappers. But as I mentioned before, um, there's a whole different range of people that I work with. Um, it is something we're looking into. We've had talks with some people already. Um, not sure about like Tommy Cash and that. I haven't spoken to haven't spoken to him, but yeah, I mean there will be things coming.
Oh, that's really cool. I'll be looking forward to it as well. Last question to round out this AMA is
Hmm.
coming from redhatter.eth. How do you stay so calm knowing what's coming? Also, is there any chance that there will be a summary of the AMA?
We should be having it recorded. Someone should be recording it right now. We've got one of the team on that. I'm pretty sure. Um, so yeah, people will be able to check that back as well. So people that weren't here, people that I know, obviously people in different time zones and stuff. Some people are sleeping. Obviously people will be able to check in and watch that. We will do a summary as well. Um, we'll write out a bunch of the different points and the answers, so people can just like whiz over it pretty quick if they want to, and they don't want to tune into the entire thing. In regards to staying calm, I mean, in all honesty, like inside, I'm definitely not very calm. Like I'm pretty excited about everything. I'm very hyped up. I'm very glad with how things are going so far, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to developing on the project and working with everyone and getting active in the community. And yeah, I can't wait really. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely not as calm as it maybe sounds, um, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best.
Yeah, definitely are. And just wanted to say this for anybody listening, the public, if we reach that phase, is going to be 3 hours and 33 minutes from now. And with that, I'm going to pass this to Glider. If you have any ending words, anything you want to say to the community before we wrap up this AMA.
Yeah, for sure. Basically, kind of, I just want to thank everyone. Really, obviously, thank the team, the developer of the new contract. Everyone's been putting in a lot of hard work. It's been kind of like non-stop work over the last few weeks, and we're just really glad to be at that point of minting, so everyone can get involved. And obviously, a massive shout out to the community, to all the people that have tuned into this AMA. Hopefully, you've learnt a lot more about the project. I know there's a lot of stuff that I can't release, and it hurts me inside to know that I can't tell you some of the things that we're working on because I'm really excited to let you know. But it's for good reason, and yeah, it's just more things to look forward to, really. But yeah, literally just a big shout out to everyone. I appreciate you all stopping by. Appreciate all the love and the activity, and I'm looking forward to the things we'll do together, and building upon the family that we've already started putting together so far. It's been great, and yeah, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Glider, for helping make this a reality.
No problem at all. Thank you guys, and hopefully catch everyone in general and stuff. Say what's up, and yeah, I look forward to it.